Hey, it's your boy DJ Wolf here. I just heard about another mass shooting. This one happened in Jacksonville. Uh, it was multiple fatalities. I'm not sure exactly how many. The last count was 4. It was at a Madden uh, tournament, Madden video game tournament. I got to thinking about this, man, and this is fact. Fact is, the number one reason why these mass shootings keep going on and on is because of the lack of gun legislation. Now, the reason there's a lack of gun legislation is one thing. The lobbyists uh, pays these politicians very, very well. The gun industry is a big time, worldwide money making cash cow. Guns are distributed to not only regular gun owners, but gun clubs, the military, law enforcement, and everywhere else. You name it. It makes a lot of money. You know, they're guns that they support for all kind of weapons, big and small. Outside of the car industry, the gun industry is a big deal. And until like someone said this on satellite radio, and I couldn't agree more. One of the things that may or may not stop it, but I think it's a good idea. There should be insurance for each person who has a gun. And I think that would actually hold persons liable for unlawful and illegal shootings, and definitely for criminal misconduct with possession of an armed uh, gun or criminal act with a firearm. And there will be some control, but it'll be more control than it is now. There aren't any major gun control laws. You know, some of the ones they were talking about, well, you get something to do with the uh, rifle stock of certain guns. That alone is not going to control guns. It's not going to control that. Who the hell needs an AR-15? You know, I certainly don't. You know, I think that's totally ludicrous to be selling them people those kind of guns like uh, MAC-10s and AR-15s and AK-47s. Really? People should not be. You should not be able to sell any civilians those kind of weapons. Period. Personally, I think it's illegal to sell any civilians those kind of guns anyway. But they don't make it illegal. They make it legal. That's part of the problem. You know, our own politicians don't even really try to protect us. This is why I don't like politicians. I don't have a great respect for them. You know. Now, on a side note, I actually give my sympathy to the passing of John McCain, um, fellow former military and POW war veteran. But beyond that, I mean, I just never. I have a. I don't. Politicians, man, really, honestly, they are part of the reason why a lot of stuff goes on today because they don't protect your interests. The people you vote to have your best interests are people who you generally don't have your, they generally do not have your best interests at heart. They say they do, but the reality of it is they really don't. Not like you think they do. Not like you would want them to. Not like you want them to. Let's put it like that. And I'm really disappointed in that because every time I hear something about something like this, whether it be a Sandy Hook or Columbine or something like this was going on, I really feel more and more disrespected by the politicians who you put in office, who bills you, who taxes you pay to put them in office, that the same people who do not have your interests and do not protect you. They won't protect you. They won't protect your families or your loved ones. No, they don't care. They don't. The only thing that they care about is their bottom dollar. Their bottom dollar about their own interest matters more to them than you and your votes. That's it. That's all they care about. That's the average politician, as far as I'm concerned. But I know some people say all politicians ain't bad. Well, most politicians ain't good. Think about it. It's the politicians is the reason why we have so many problems with uh, uh, many of these laws today because they don't take it seriously. They really, really don't. You know, try to get something done in your communities. Like I'm looking at a problem now with a sinkhole in my neighborhood. I've been calling these guys for almost 2 years to get this thing done, and they still just they do they don't wait they wait till the stuff last minute mess happen, and then all of a sudden they will talk about what we're going to do this, and then they don't do anything. I'm tired of that. I really am. I'm tired of that. It's a disappointment. Politicians in the last really 45 years or so have really they've let me down. They've let me down. Hence the reason why a lot of this mess goes on today. You know, I have no hope in it. No, I have no hope in it. I have no faith in them. But you really, it's hard to have faith in man anymore. Especially when stuff like this goes on. You really got to be mindful of what you do anymore and where you go and who you see and all this other stuff, man. This is just a sad world we live in today, man. It's a sad, scary world we live in today. And then you got Trump in office. That's another whole story. I get so frustrated talking about this guy. I don't even want to talk about him anymore. You know, and I'll leave it at that. All right, guys. This is DJ Wolf. That's all I got for right now. Um, at some point, I will be talking about the Funk Fest that happened out in Virginia Beach this weekend. Boy, oh boy. Oh, speaking of side note of the Funk Fest, yesterday morning, my wife and I went by the police memorial that they have out in Virginia Beach, and we read the harrowing story the harrowing stories about officers that were killed in the line of duty, and it got me to thinking really that even though you have officers out here who abuse their power against civilians, and that's a fact, they do, particularly black civilians, uh, just because they're black, or just walking while black, or driving while black, or talking while black. or just minding the business while black. And definitely for the most part, being unarmed while black, get fucked with. You know, um, we know that there are some there out there who really is about the business of protecting and serving the people of the communities. You know, it brought me to that perspective, and I do respect that. So after we spent about 10 minutes reading the different things about the officers who were killed in the line of duty doing the job, we walked a short distance, and there were about a dozen, about half a dozen or so officers standing around talking. This had to be probably about 11, 11:30 in the morning. This was yesterday, and I spoke to them. You know, I said good morning, and really, they really kind of blew it off. I know they heard me. I kind of felt like, wow, this is more of a extension of how the politicians are until they need you to put them back in office. You know, I felt a little slighted. You know, I'm a black man trying to show my respects and proper respects to my officers who are out there on the front line for people every day. And they didn't say a word. They just kept on talking. I'm saying anything where I was like, oh, okay. I don't know if it's paranoia on some of them or what, you know. But that's not the first time this happened. I've actually, over the years, I've spoke to officers at times, man, they look at you like you're crazy. That hasn't happened for most of the ones I've been around, but I'm just saying. And it seems to me like the only time they will speak back is when they're ready to arrest you, and I've had that happen. Or to stop you at a light or a traffic stop or something. Oh, then they want to talk. But then when you don't want to talk to them, when you get stopped, especially for a stupid traffic stop, all of a sudden, you know, it's an issue. But I just wanted to get that off my chest, man. I'm thinking the proper way to have good community relations, and this is to the officer, and this is not a slight. If someone speaks to you in the community, just let you know, just ask you how you doing. Hey, speak back, say hi. You know, you build on good relations with your community by acknowledging them who acknowledge you in a positive, proper way. I expect the same way when I speak to you. But I did feel slighted. I said, wow, you know, that's a shame. You know, some of these officers wonder why they don't really get the love back in the community, because when some people do speak to you in the community and you don't speak back, you let people in the community feel like, wow, you look at me like I ain't nobody, and I'll pay your salary. So just remember that, guys. When you know you have people trying to show you love, man, show a little love back. That's all. All right, guys. This is DJ Wolf, and that's all I got. I'm out.